Welcome, everybody. We are here, episode 9 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. We are just about 25 minutes removed from the 2019 edition of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And
you don't seem too happy.
That was one of the worst pay-per-views I've seen in like a long time. A multitude of things, man. We're gonna get into it. But Dad, like I'm really just befuddled because like how the hell for the second year in a row have we had a Hell in a Cell match in no contest? I don't know. And I'm so confused about it.
Before we start everything, what did you think about the red lighting in the cage?
I didn't like it at first until like it grew on me after about like 5 minutes because I was like, this is actually kind of dope. Like I'm pretty sure that it wasn't an issue for the fans inside the arena, or they would have made themselves, would have made it known that they can't see shit. So it grew on me. I thought it was pretty dope for the Fiend's persona. It's not something I want to see them just do. I've seen somebody say on Twitter it's a good way to kind of evolve the Cell because it's kind of, in the last 10 years that there's been a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, it's kind of fallen a little flat since they actually turned it into an annual show.
Uh-huh.
So it was a good way to kind of make it evolve a little bit, but the ending was so stupid.
Yeah,
and I'm never like. I'm never one of the fans is just like, WWE did this, blah, blah, blah. But like, damn, like this is like one of the first times I've really like ever just been disappointed at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's huge.
Wow.
That's saying something coming for you. I think you're a WWE fan enough. You're credible to say if something's good or not good. You know what I mean? And if you say
I
that
don't
this is
complain
not
about everything.
good,
Like people like to complain and nitpick over the little pettiest things. This instance is not one of those times. Even Kofi Kingston losing the title, I didn't think was one of those times. We touched on that a little bit, but like, damn, bro, like this, like, how do you have a Cell match ending no disqualification? I mean, I thought it was a DQ, but it was a no contest. But like, how, like, one, the match was dragging on too long. One aspect of it I did like was that the Fiend like gets powerful with the more pain and everything that he absorbs. He just gets more powerful. Like that's some really dope character development. But like other than that, like the ending was just really ruined the rest of the match for me.
mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really too big on the pay-per-view anyway because of the way it started off with Sasha Banks tapping out. Definitely thought she would win. Like Becky Lynch has been in like all the ads for Smackdown on Fox and everything.
Yeah.
So we're about a week before the draft. So I kind of had a hunch that she was maybe gonna lose, and go over to SmackDown. I mean, she always can get drafted and then be forced to vacate the title, but like it's no fun. And then same thing with Bayley. Like Bayley also lost immediately before the Cell match. So like everything just kind of. Everything that happened in this show that was scheduled, I mean, it was only 4 matches scheduled, and it was 9 matches on the card. So, like, everything else felt like an episode of Monday Night Raw, and it wasn't their best moment. They kind of blew their load earlier in this week, and it was just like, we're just going to chill for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think this is like the wrong time to schedule a pay-per-view.
And they also have to build towards the Crown Jewel pay-per-view on Halloween. And then there's Survivor Series next month. So, I'm pretty sure they'll get back on the right track. But this is just like a throwaway. They maybe should have booked the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view like, a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
You knew you were going to Fox. You knew you were all out for the Fox premiere. You knew what day that it was going, before you probably even scheduled the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So I'm pretty sure like you could have found some time in the next couple of weeks. I know like NBA preseason is starting off. You know, I don't know when the Kings play, or if they're gonna have the arena reserved, or if they had like other events going on. They just had to. I don't know. It's so much logistics that go into it. So many different parameters you gotta just kind of consider, but. And they kind of booked themselves into a tight little corner. But also, because I don't want to be negative, I will say that for tomorrow night and for the draft that starts on Friday, it's added a layer of unpredictability. And so that's one way to just kind of
shoot. I thought
it's
it was
one positive
unpredictable
to
for
take
me already.
It's one positive to take from this show. If I can take a positive from it, which I think more people should.
I got a positive.
Focusing on the negative all the time, like find some positives in those negatives. And one of my biggest positives going forward is that it's really, really unpredictable.
My biggest positive going forward is I like the new stages. I like that. But I do have a bone to
Smackdown
pick.
stage is so fire.
I do have a bone to pick with WWE. Everything I've been saying for years is now coming into existence. I was upset that we kept getting the same stages for the longest. I was upset that NXT wasn't at least a same week tape show or not live. Now that we are getting all this, they on the network and all this, so it's starting to feel like the old days again.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not really pay attention to my television. Like it was kind of like background noise for me.
What?
During the Hell in a Cell. So like did they have they have a unique pay-per-view set for Hell in a Cell?
It wasn't unique. It was like kind of like the old Raw stage, but like they have like different ways of setting up stuff. And I'm like, it don't even if you have the same stage for every pay-per-view, I just don't want to see the same stage as of Raw and SmackDown on every, I don't want to feel like I'm still watching
Raw SmackDown pay-per-views. Every single Raw SmackDown pay-per-view for maybe the last like 5 years was the same exact set.
Yeah.
It was kind of
at least give us something different. You know what I mean? Just something different.
I mean, like only time you give us something different was WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or those Saudi Arabia shows. Like that's when you had a unique set. So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to is just it's different. Like we talked on the last episode, just new pay-per-view sets. I think it's cool. Because I had a lot of them back in the day that was really just dope to me, and it kind of gave every show like a unique
different feeling.
So it's definitely something that we can look forward to. That's one of the many things about this. I guess they say this new era of wrestling.
I love it, man. Do you want to recap SmackDown?
Yeah, let's first recap the first episode, the premiere episode of AEW Dynamite.
Hey.
I actually I didn't watch it. I figured out what I'm gonna do on Wednesday nights is every week I'm just gonna alternate which show that I watch live.
Okay.
And so I did not watch the premiere of AEW just because they were re-airing it immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like a TNT type of thing. I don't think AEW.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna be doing that every week, but I kind of hope so because it might just make things a little bit easier. But if they're not, then I'll just definitely alternate on a weekly basis. I watch NXT and then watch AEW right afterwards. I enjoyed the show. Both opening matches. We started off in NXT with Matt Riddle and Adam Cole for the NXT title. No commercial breaks.
Fireworks.
It started off with a bang. Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara also had a dope match. Both matches ended at the same exact time.
Bro, can I say that too? Like that was kind of funny to me. Like it was one point where they both were on the turnbuckle at the same exact time.
That's incredible.
I was looking at because I had it on side by side. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And watching that, I'm looking and I'm like, wait, are they doing the same thing? And it was just funny. Like soon, I think was it like soon as Adam Cole won, that's when Cody got the pin.
And then immediately afterwards, like I don't know why they did this to me, but like you can't have Velveteen Dream and MJF cutting promos at the same time because then I have to,
Right.
my anxiety is just like on another level. I got to make a decision which one I want to watch because I enjoy both characters.
Yeah,
like both characters are just entertaining. MJF is like somebody called MJF Great Value Miz.
What?
And like it's true, but it's also like sometimes Great Value be on par with like the name brand too.
But it's like passing
just be cheaper.
It's just like, hey, what's happening?
Because like you ever had Great Value cereal? It tastes just like the same thing, and it's like $1 cheaper.
Or you can say he's just a Miz with like out the PG.
I think if Miz wasn't in the machine and like Miz was,
I think Miz would be tearing people up.
Miz
way worse.
Miz is a WWE lifer. Like ever since like he made the decision to want to be a wrestler, like it was always like WWE was always the main thing, and he's been very successful. He's pretty much like an ambassador.
He got a reality show because of him now.
Yeah, he got a
reality show.
Yeah,
why
on the
would
USA Network. Like he's good. Like but if the Miz wasn't there, I think he would take the character to similar heights as MJF. Anyway, MJF is really entertaining. He got a victory over Brandon Cutler. We were with my guy Chris Van Vliet. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet. Introduced Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob. Apparently, there's a new Jay and Silent Bob movie coming out.
I had no idea who they were.
I haven't heard either of those names since like 2006, but it's all good. Chris Jericho is in the new Jay and Silent Bob movie, and so it looks like it was a little cross promotion.
Okay.
We got Jack Evans and Angelico came out, blah blah blah. Private Party came out, blah blah blah.
That's the one thing I didn't like about the show. I'm like, what is the?
Seemed like it was just a filler segment. Which you kind of need filler segments on these shows. And I thought one thing I'm going to take away from the premiere episode of Dynamite, they were really good on their pacing. Which is like one of the few things I was worried about. Because with Double or Nothing, apparently like the pacing was kind of off. Like, they almost one of those shows. Not Double or Nothing, but All Out. They barely got off the air. And so it was one of the things I was concerned about. Like, now you're on live television. Are you going to be able to kind of pace this out pretty well? So they did good in that aspect. So Colin censored, we're in Washington, D.C. Scorpio Sky does like probably one of the best Barack Obama impersonations I've seen in a while. And Christopher Daniels and Kaz were, Secret Service agents. Eventually they kind of broke from the Obama shtick, DC's worst time we've ever been to, right. Their whole shtick. And they, came out on stage. And this is really this kind of reminded me of old school WCW where guys just get interviewed on the stage by Tony Schiavone. And so I think, it's something they should keep doing.
I like Tony Schiavone. I think he gave it that WCW feel.
He gives it that.
It's just hearing his voice. You know what I
mean? And also Tony Schiavone is still really good. I can't really say the same about Jim Ross.
But I didn't think he was going to be an official, like announcer. I didn't know he was really like going to be. I thought it was that. What was the other guy name that was at Starrcast?
Tony Schiavone was at Starrcast.
No, it was what's the dude? Alex something.
Oh, Alex Marvez.
Yeah.
He also is. He's worse than Jim Ross. So like, I'm good with not having him like do anything. Like, do some backstage interviewing, but, like, live commentary, we're good, bro. Moving on, we had Pac beat Hangman Page.
That was a good match.
I'm sorry. Did I say it right, Pac?
Pac, yeah, whatever.
Apparently, it's not Pac, and I've been saying Pac for like the last year or so since he left WWE.
I thought it was Pac.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Pac,
He won.
I mean, Pac's fits better. So when you say Pac, you think of Tupac.
Yeah, that's exactly why. But yeah, Pac beat Hangman Page. They were
That was a good match, man.
They were supposed to fight in Double or Nothing, so they finally had their match, and it was really good. Probably one of the best matches I've seen Pac have since I've actually been following him.
Just to note something, Pac is way more interesting as a heel than he ever was as a face.
Well, as a face, he wasn't really interesting at all, even in NXT. But when he turned heel on 205 Live, he just kind of immediately gave some credibility to the show that show was missing at the time. And then, of course, like the Enzo Amore curse, and then it just kind of became like that. Hey, we just got wrestlers that do flips now. Nobody really has any character on the show. That's all gonna change this Wednesday. We'll get into that.
Yes, sir.
Just know we're gonna have a new cruiserweight champion. In my opinion, I think that's the direction we're gonna.
And I can't wait, man.
We'll get into that in a little bit. Next up, we had the women's championship. Rio defeated Nyla Rose. The match was way better than I thought it would be. Nyla Rose kind of almost like put Michael Nakazawa in a wheelchair after she lost the match. She really needs to kind of get better. But Rio wins. Kenny Omega comes out to save Rio after Nyla started, attacking Michael Nakazawa.
That was interesting. Like Kenny Omega coming out.
Kenny Omega is also kind of like the head of the women's division, I believe.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like the Fit Finley of AEW, and so he's the one that got Rio and like all the other Japanese ladies over into the company. So, shout out to Kenny Omega giving us some good wrestlers.
Rio's pretty good. That was my first time ever really like.
I know she competed at Double or Nothing, but that was kind of like the match people just checked out of just to give themselves a breather.
Go to the bathroom or something.
But she's really good. And, I think she would have been dope like in NXT, but she kind of this is probably a better move for her. She has the network between Kenny Omega and everybody else, and so
different styles for different people.
Different styles for different people. Forgot to mention that earlier in the show, right after Cody Rhodes beat Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho came out and attacked him and kind of showed his allegiance with Sammy Guevara. And,
what is his theme song? I like that part.
I don't know, but like he got to get rid of that panda. Oh, you talking about Jericho?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Jericho theme music is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Like I watched a video a few months ago. I was like, this is kind of hard. Like I never liked Fozzy music.
Ever. Yeah, I've never even listened to Fozzy.
Now, also, one of the very few opportunities I would have had to see Chris Jericho before Double or Nothing. If I'm not mistaken, Double or Nothing was the first Chris Jericho match I ever seen in person versus Kenny Omega. That's because Chris Jericho in 2004. Okay, in 2004, it was an episode of Raw in my hometown, and Chris Jericho comes out. No, he's not there. He's not there at the arena. He's in town. He's not at the arena. There was a Fozzy concert scheduled in my city that same night. It was Monday Night Raw, and Jericho did the concert. He wasn't on the show.
Raw?
He wasn't on the show, and the reason why he wasn't on the show, I don't know if you remember this. At WrestleMania that year, he fought Christian, and Trish Stratus turned on him after the match. But like a month before that, Jericho wasn't at the arena, and I can't remember if it was Eric Bischoff or Vince McMahon. Booked a match between Christian and Trish Stratus on Raw, and then Christian's like, I know you're Jericho's girl and everything. I don't want to hurt you, so I'll just lay down and you, get the pin. Christian lays down and then it's like kicks out, and then puts Trish in the walls of Jericho and beats her. And so like Jericho's not there technically to help her out because he has a Bozzy concert
That's
on
true.
the other side of town.
No wonder she left him.
So if you
She
want a
gave
little
Christian that Bobby
backstory,
Lashley love.
yeah, if you want a little backstory to why Trish possibly turned on Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 20, is because he had a gig that night and it wasn't able to save her.
It all makes sense now.
That's true story. Like that's like nobody else knows that happened unless you were there in Omaha.
Yeah, you remember exactly. I had no idea that ever.
So like that actually like put things into more perspective for me because like as soon as she turned on him at WrestleMania, I was like, man, he wasn't there to save her that week.
Yeah.
Had a motherfucking concert. But anyway,
you gotta get your priorities straight.
Right, man. Like your girl out here getting attacked by your homie and you ain't there. You out here performing shitty rock music. Like, come on, fam. But Judas is a fire song, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Before the main event, we had Chris Jericho, LAX, faced off against the Elite, which is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Early in the match, Jon Moxley appeared from behind and attacked Kenny Omega. They fought to the backstage VIP area and got put through a glass table, and it was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, like, I was happy to see Jon Moxley there, man.
And
I think everybody was expecting it, but
I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know that he was healthy. I'm glad he is. Hopefully, he doesn't have any more issues with the MRSA in his elbow. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a recurring thing or not. Hopefully, it's not. Hopefully, he's good to go. And we're building up the Full Gear. I think is the next show, and so I believe they're scheduled to face off at Full Gear finally. So can't wait. Or it might be next week, not next week, but sometime on one of these shows, these AEW shows. I think it's the show in Boston in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but it feels so good to see the Young Bucks wrestle on TV. Like, I mean, I've seen them wrestle when it was Generation Me on NXT, but that's when I completely hated their tag team. And but now that they're probably my favorite tag team right now, it feels good to see them on TV.
It was kind of crazy. I found out that, well, it wasn't I found it out, but just somebody pointed it out, that this was Kenny Omega's first match ever on like live television.
Sure was.
And that's kind of crazy to think about, like live, like not pay-per-view, but like live.
I mean, that show you how
network
big
television
Omega was, you know. If you could be that big of a wrestling star and you not even in the U.S., like have a real live match in the U.S., that's saying something to me.
And after the match, first of all, Chris Jericho in LAX beat the Young Bucks because Kenny Omega got put in the table backstage and he wasn't in the match, and the numbers game caught up to him. Jericho pins one of the Jacksons after the Judas effect. After the match, Cody Rhodes comes out and gets his revenge on Jericho. Sammy Guevara comes out, attacks Cody. Dustin Rhodes comes out to help out, Dustin Rhodes could still go at like 50, which is crazy to me. And after that, Jake Hager, former world heavyweight champion in the WWE, formerly known as Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger comes out and got a huge pop. First of all, I don't think he's ever gotten a pop that big since like the last time.
He didn't even get pop that big when he world heavyweight title. I was there.
Yeah, when he won the world title versus Jericho in 2009, I want to say.
Yeah, he didn't get a pop that, and I was there. I was there when he cashed in.
He got a pop. I remember he got a pop. It wasn't big as his pop. Like even like during the whole like We the People era, which I thought like I enjoy his character during that time. He still
and it seemed like he's still doing that. Like all the fans,
we the people. But like that's the biggest pop he's ever gotten, and I couldn't believe like people were going crazy for Jake Hager. but different strokes for different folks, I guess. But what
I
did you
mean,
think of the show, man?
for the first show, I really liked it, man. It felt, it's what I've been wanting to see on, TV, man. A good wrestling show, not too, me. I'm not the big, entertainment person anymore, but I love wrestling and to see. I don't want to say indie wrestling, but like basically to see indie wrestling live on TV now, yeah, I love that shit. Keep it up.
And I'm a break from this conversation real quick. I don't know if you ever heard of World of Gingdom on YouTube.
Nope.
He does a lot of like Dragon Ball Z reviews. He does a lot of movie reviews, like comic book movie, Star Wars.
I
Like
think you told me about him before. Like that
but
sounds familiar.
he also reviews wrestling, and he just uploaded a video. Hell in a Cell 2019 rant, the worst ever. The worst ever. It's an 11-minute video. I'm gonna watch it after we get done recording because I know he went off because like he never holds back.
Please send that to me.
He also he's also like legit friends with Bray Wyatt. Like Bray Wyatt roasted him on Twitter like 2 years ago. After that, they ended up becoming friends, and so I know he has a lot to say about how the end of that pay-per-view ended with his boy. But let's get into this NXT, man.
Hey.
NXT going head to head with AEW. I'll watch the show live, and I'm gonna watch AEW this Wednesday because there's not much on this show besides the cruiserweight title that really interests me. But first, we had Adam Cole, Matt Riddle 5-star match. Matt Riddle's putting on some bangers. Adam Cole ended up beating Matt Riddle after hitting the last shot. Didn't have enough time to celebrate because Finn Balor returns. Bray Wyatt ran him off the block and ran him back down home to NXT. He had to go back to his parents' house. It's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but like WWE version. Like the bully ran you off the block. You had to go live with your uncle Triple H down in Florida for a little bit. So he'll be there for a while. I don't think he's going to be there permanently, but I think just to kind of get the show kind of off the ground on cable, you need a familiar face there.
Let's see some of these matches, man. Get him in there with Adam Cole, Matt Riddle, man. Let's get these
Roderick Strong and Finn Balor.
Man, let's get these 5-star matches going, yo.
So many opportunities there for Finn Balor. So I think like maybe a year or so do him good. You can get all those out.
He looked like somebody who just came home from jail. That's what he looked like.
The fresh haircut, new tattoos.
God, he looked a little old. So old.
Like he had new tats. Like
yeah, he looked like he was stressed out.
He was like, I can't do a good Irish accent, but I'm gonna try. All the Fiends ran me off the block. Eh? That was more Scottish than Irish. But
I'm happy to see Finn Balor back in NXT, man.
After that, we get an announcement that Leo Rush will be challenging Drew Gulak for the cruiserweight title next week. Leo Rush came back and I can't even remember now who he fought. I think it was Oney Lorcan.
That's a couple weeks ago. Yo, every time I hear his name, I laugh.
Oney Lorcan, one of my favorite people on Twitter.
Oney Lorcan.
So like, funny story. Oney Lorcan, I follow him on Twitter. I've seen his tweets like come across my timeline a lot. I was like, this dude's tweets are hilarious because he types in all caps. He always like tweets about like he'll say some shit like, I saw Vince McMahon backstage and he said, go break a leg. And I went and broke the guy's leg. And then I came back and Vince said, good job. And so I laid him out with a punch. And he was like, God damn, pal, that was brilliant. Or some shit like that. Like, that's kind of the antithesis of like his tweets.
Yeah.
And, like, it's dope. It's entertaining. And so like he came out, I want to say it was against Leo Rush. And he had on like these purple and yellow like tights. I was like, that's dope. Like, you from Boston. I'm like, that's dope. You came out here purple and yellow. And then like he comes on Twitter afterwards and he's like, oh no, guys, I did this for another reason. I'm Boston since day one. I was like,
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah.
you gotta go, fam. Like you a Celtics fan for real? You gotta go off my timeline. But like I still fucks with him though. Side note. After that, Io Shirai, Mia Yim. Io Shirai made Mia Yim look pretty good. Io Shirai gets the victory there. Tegan Knox is back and healthy, and that's dope to see, man. I'm glad she's back. Johnny Gargano gets his USA debut out the way. Beat Shane Thorne. It was a little entertaining match. It was cool.
Yo, I've always told people about. I've always liked Shane Thorne. He's one of those guys who's just like. He's one of those guys that was just like, to me, he's always been like overlooked, and I think now is. And hold on, can I say something real quick? All you ultimate WWE ultimate fans, please don't act like NXT is just the best thing in the world now. Like before then, I see a lot of people on Twitter that was like really trying to like down NXT like it really wasn't. To me, the best, out of any wrestling, Smackdown, Raw, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro, like the best for years now. And now all these guys are like, oh, see, just because they hate AEW, that they're trying to up NXT, and I'm just like, don't jump on the NXT bandwagon, man. Stay where you at. Don't go chasing them waterfalls.
It's still WWE at the end of the day.
It's still WWE, but when you say developmental, y'all don't give it its recognition, and now that everybody's trying to give it its recognition, man, it's just lame to me, yo.
But is it really developmental at this point? I mean,
no, not anymore. But like even back then, to me, it wasn't developmental. Like they were putting on better shows than the main roster, and people weren't trying to like really give it its credit.
But like as far as like NXT TV goes, like I don't think we can count NXT TV as developmental anymore. House shows, yeah.
NXT is not developmental at all anymore. Like it's
like the house shows are developmental because you got these PC classes and everything getting their work in front of live crowds. Like house shows is different, but like TV ain't really developmental at this point because it's you got Finn Balor, for instance, former Universal Champion.
But this is what we
he's one title. I think he's like one championship short from being a Triple Crown. I think he's like a tag title short from being a Triple Crown on the main roster. Like Undisputed Era, they've won championships all over the world. Like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, like they were doing a thing on the indie circuit before. Like they're professionals. They're not even developmental.
But a lot of the guys they were already like Kevin Owens. He was doing his thing.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, they were already doing their thing.
Shinsuke Nakamura, like even Finn Balor. Yeah, even Finn Balor the first time, like was solidified.
What I see now is like look at people's career on the main roster compared to NXT. You know what I mean? And that's why I've always said NXT was up here compared to the main roster. I think that's the reason why I would always separate NXT from the main roster from every other wrestling promotion. So I feel like we always say it's Triple H's, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's Triple H. So I give Triple H his credit. But now I don't know. I just found that kind of funny. Everybody was all on NXT job. So I mean, keep it up though. Wednesday nights are the best nights in wrestling. Don't forget that.
They are, man. Like I legit like race home out of class. Like I leave class early so I could go and like watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And like and I say like I told him I was like I leave class for work, but like it's technically work to me, man. Like I'm putting in where I'm watching it so I can do this podcast. Like I'm putting in work for it, man. So we gotta
you put in work this Friday.
I did put in work.
You gonna be here? You gonna be there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there this Friday for the draft on SmackDown. I'll be in the building.
I gotta be at the Mandalay Bay.
For anybody that cares, anybody that's listening in Las Vegas and they want to meet up outside of the arena, we can go find. We can go to
be careful. Your tweets be kind of.
Hey, we could go to the we go to the CVS outside the arena. Get a beer or something. I'll buy you a beer, whoever. We ain't getting no beer inside the arena, though. I'm not paying $15 for a Bud Light.
Yeah, I'll be down the street though. I'll be a light down at the Mandalay Bay for the PFL with ESPN.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, but let's get back into these results, though, man. Shayna Baszler defeats Candice LeRae. You know, keep the belt on Shayna forever, man. She's coming up on a year being women's champion in NXT. It'll be a year and in about like less than 2 weeks.
Who has the record? Like, no, Asuka?
She has the record.
Okay.
Shayna Baszler currently has the record. I think she passed Asuka up a long time ago.
Okay.
So about, I want to say 2-3 months ago is when she passed Asuka up. Maybe a little bit before that. But yeah, Shayna, keep the belt on her, man. Like there's no challengers for her right now. At least that I know of. Like, I mean, I thought they would have had, her and Rhea Ripley do something a little bit more. But maybe that was a one-off. But man, like,
and what's the Roderick Strong wife and the other lady? Like, what are they doing, yo?
I don't know. I hope they stay far away forever because they don't interest me whatsoever.
It's like they haven't did anything besides stand there. Like, I've seen them in the Royal Rumble?
Were they even in the Royal Rumble? They might have been.
I think they were both in the Royal Rumble, but that was it. Or maybe the Women's Battle Royal.
Let me go verify that. But man, they're not good, and they're really annoying.
I can't tell. I've never even seen them wrestle.
I haven't seen them in a couple weeks since, like, I mean, when Candice won the number one contenders match a couple weeks ago, they came out with Shayna, but they haven't been around since.
Like, they're pushing this four horsewomen, and it's like, well, the other two you don't even see, so it's like it's really not, it's like the invasion angle.
I mean, only two of them matter, also, right? So, and one of them is not around anymore, so there's really no need for Shayna's girls to really be around, if they're not trying to get better and actually be more interesting.
I'm sure they're gonna have her come back sooner or later.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, like, I've been really like, I'll shit on Ronda Rousey for ever since like 2013 in UFC. Whenever she like started blowing up in UFC, it was like 2013. That was when I just was shitting on her. I couldn't stand her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she started talking about she could beat Floyd and all this shit. Like, shut up. And then when she lost, like, first I would bet against Ronda every fight. And then like the one she actually lost to Holly Holm, I did not bet. And I was like upset, bro. I was mad. And then like even the next fight after that, I didn't bet
Nunes.
Amanda Nunes knocked her ass out too. And I didn't bet on either one of them. And I was like, I could have made some money.
Yeah, you could have.
After all the money I wasted betting against Ronda Rousey and she would win, and I don't do
it. And Amanda Nunes made that quick money.
Man. But I'm starting to miss Ronda Rousey. I'm not gonna lie. They need some star power. Hopefully, she might be ready to come back soon. I don't know. We get Kushida versus Walter next week. That should be fun.
Yes.
That should be fun. And Pete Dunne beat Danny Burch in a really hard-hitting match. Like, let them go all out. Let them get a match on like a UK takeover in the future. Like, I know like Pete Dunne is kind of, I think, full-time in the US, but like let him go back down there for a little bit and get a match.
Yeah.
Like Danny Burch or even just somebody else, like a showcase, Cesaro or somebody interesting. But after the match, Damian Priest.
Cesaro would be.
It'd be hard hitting.
Yes, sir.
It'd be hard hitting. Like, I might cringe the whole time. Like, I might have like a permanent cringe face because like they're gonna be hard hitting. But after this match, Damian Priest comes out, lays out Pete Dunne. I'm trying to get into Damian Priest, man. Like, I didn't watch it using Ring of Honor, I think. So I don't know much about him, but I'm trying to get into him. I don't know if I can. Like, it's something about him that's not really clicking for me. But maybe I'll just have to keep watching and we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
In our main event, Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish, I feel like wrestles only once every 6 months. But this was one of those times.
Well, they're trying to, make sure you stay healthy.
Yeah, he get hurt. You could breathe on Bobby Fish. You might, might tweak his shoulder or something.
Yeah, make sure you stay healthy.
Take on the Street Profits. Street Profits made their debut on USA television after appearing on USA for like the last 3 months. This is their first match. They get the win. They get the win on those guys after some interference from Roderick Strong. After the match, Adam Cole comes out. He's on the stage with his NXT title. Roddy and the rest of the guys are in the ring with their titles, and they're like, "Hell yeah!" But next thing
hey,
thought it was Taz. But Tommaso Ciampa makes his return. Tommaso Ciampa is cleared. He's healthy to go.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, he might only have like 5 years left his career, man. But we're gonna enjoy it. He's
of
back.
Course.
He's back. Comes out stage. He just looks at Adam Cole like, okay, and he looks at the belt like, I'll be getting that back soon. He just circles around Adam Cole, and that's how we end our first episode, our first 2-hour live episode of NXT, or our first official 2-hour live episode of NXT. What did you think of this episode? And in your opinion, which one would you kind of give the nod to, Dynamite or AEW?
Who I would give the nod to?
Like, which one kind of struck out for you more?
I don't know, man. I'm really steering away from the like Wednesday Night Wars aspect of like who's better, who's not. But my favorite match of the two has to go to Matt Riddle and Adam Cole.
Yeah, that's mine too.
But then I had to
I enjoy Cody and Sammy as well.
Yeah, and then the Elite versus Chris Jericho and LAX. I thought that was a pretty entertaining match, and just how the way all that ended, and Jack Swagger coming in and surprisingly getting the big pop he got.
Like, do people really care about Jack Swagger, or was it just like, this is AEW?
Hey, a familiar face.
This is AEW. This is something brand new. Like, whatever they do, we gonna mess with it. Like, is it that?
Yeah.
Or was it? Do people really care to see Jake Hager?
I think it's like I don't want to compare him to Christian, but it's the Christian Cage thing in TNA. When Christian went to TNA, I thought it was like super dope. I mean, I was a kid, but I thought it was super dope because I was like, oh, we get to see a different side of him. What can he do different that we didn't see in WWE? Like, to me, WWE made him look like a cornball. You know what I mean? Like, he had his moments where it was like, oh, I like Jack Swagger, but for the most of the part, it was just like like that goofy kid in high school that's just super annoying, and it's just like he felt like that. You know what I mean? And now it's like it's either is he gonna be that same goofy annoying guy, or what different are we gonna see out of him? You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those people I want to see different compared to like other top stars where I would be like I don't mind seeing the same person.
And we gonna have to see going forward, man. It'll definitely be interesting, to say the least, man.
But one person who I wonder when their contract is up, and I really hope go to AEW. Will Ospreay.
I think he might be AEW bound, but at the same time, I feel like he might be one of those people that will stay in New Japan. Like, he kind of strike me as a guy that will stay in New Japan, like just be synonymous with that.
Yeah, like Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, like I think he also another one of those guys because like everybody else left, so like now you can make a name for yourself, kind of build yourself up to the top of the card. Like, I mean, I can't really see like Will Ospreay competing for for the heavyweight title or nothing. Like, he might always kind of be a junior. But I mean, I don't know. I also don't really know how New Japan's like system works. Like,
me neither.
People in like the juniors division compete for the heavyweight title.
It's like New Japan is one of those promotions where I don't care about their title system. I just want to see my favorite wrestlers wrestle.
It's facts, man. Hey, man, we here at the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. Check us out, man. Subscribe to us.
Please
follow us. Spotify. Anchor, Google Play. We're on iTunes now also.
Hey.
So like, follow us everywhere. Rate us on iTunes. Give us a rate, 5 stars, just to build us up, man. Put us in the forefront, man. We're trying to get out here.
For
We're
real,
trying
man.
to get out here for real, man.
Shout out to Vegas Sports Daily.
Shout out to Vegas Sports Daily, man. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us. If you listen to us, man, let us know, man. Just hit us up, man. Just, hashtag YK Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram. Let us know, man. Let us know you listening.
Give us y'all opinions.
Show me a screenshot, man. Like, only one person be giving us opinions all the time. I need more people giving us.
Bro, we gotta have him on the show one day.
Man, like,
he deserves it. His dedication, his hard work on like making sure we see his stuff. We gotta have him on at least one episode.
Man, like we need more people. Like let me know, man. We need more people out here just hitting us up, bro. Like,
so you just gonna ignore what I say?
Well, we can't have one person out there. Like shout out to Kwame, man. We appreciate the love and the support from
Kwame,
you, bro.
man. I'm gonna get you on the show, yo.
But like, man, like we can't just have Kwame out here being the only one. We need more people, man. We need to, so let us know if you rocking with us, man. I can't, like, I mean, some people be listening, but don't let me know they be listening. Like, I see the analytics, man. I see it's people listening, but let me know, man. Like, let me know you rocking with it, so I can know, like, I should keep you around. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't supporting me, I can't mess with you, bro.
Not at all.
It is what it is, man. Hey, but look, man, 20th anniversary of Smackdown. This past Friday on Fox, the debut on Fox. Man, if the whole day just felt like I was like about to watch WrestleMania or something, man.
It was a bright day.
It was a dope day. I watched a little pre-show. The Fiend took out Michael Strahan. And me, as a New England Patriots fan, I enjoyed watching that shit because I can't fucking stand Michael Strahan because Michael Strahan was on the Giants team that beat the undefeated Patriots. And so every time I see Michael Strahan, I'm like, you asshole. So the Fiend took out, man, y'all caused Randy Moss a ring, bro. Like Randy Moss was my favorite wide receiver. He was my favorite player in the league before he was a Patriot. I love Randy Moss in Minnesota. I enjoyed watching him in Oakland. He came to the Patriots. I was like, hell yeah, that's my favorite player. Put up 23 touchdowns as a receiver? That's insane. He did it. Nobody else has had 23 touchdowns as a receiver since then. Tom Brady put up 50 that season. And that stood for about 7 years. And it's been broken twice. But we were undefeated in the regular season, all the way to the Super Bowl, man. We had a perfect David Tyree can go to hell. Asante Samuel, you can go to hell as well for not intercepting Eli Manning's pass.
This guy for real person.
Michael Strahan, you can go to hell. Rodney Harrison, you allowed the David Tyree catch, you can also go to hell. I'm joking. I'm not serious, man. I love everybody. But I had to get that off my chest. Michael Strahan got attacked by the Fiend. And just to sum it up, I enjoyed watching that little bit on the kickoff show. We opened up the actual main show. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon come out, and they just kind of usher in the new era. Nothing too much, really brief.
Vince got to lose the toupee. Yeah.
You think it's a toupee for real?
I was looking. I don't know. I think it was the Goldberg, the Chronicles thing I was just watching, and like I seen the front of it, yo. I think he might not have like a full one, but I think he got a little deal. I think he might got a little weave in his head. I don't know, man.
And let me find out Vince out here getting extensions.
Looking like a bad bitch.
Hey man. Let me find out that let me find out this. I can't even say this, dude. It's just funny as hell what I'm about to say. Let me find out that Vince McMahon got Sasha Banks' wig distributor from Instagram. Let me find out, Vince. Let me find out y'all get wigs from the same people.
Let me find out you only need $40 to hook up with Vince. Vince McMahon, give him a quick 40.
Hey, what you gonna do for this 40 ball?
Sell you the whole company.
Hey, I'm a billionaire, damn it. Here, have the whole company. I have the XFL.
Right. Somebody was talking to me about that yesterday. We
Hey,
had a
man.
debate about college players being paid, but that's a whole nother
Hey,
conversation.
all of them it's another conversation with what I'm saying. They should. They make a whole bunch of money for these universities, these athletic departments.
Shout out to California.
Shout out to Cali, man, putting that in order, man. You gonna put pressure on everybody. But
yeah.
You know, cause once them, you know, we transition and I'm gonna get back on track in a second. But let me just get this off my chest real quick and we can go forward. Because once California schools, USC, UCLA, Berkeley, Cal, all those schools start getting all these top ranked recruits.
Yeah.
And nobody else gonna get them. Everybody else, all these other states about to fall in line.
Like it's crazy. Like they was like really taking away scholarships because kids was getting endorsement deals. Like, are you serious?
It was taken away. I don't know if you remember this. Like a few years ago, it was a punter. I don't remember what school he played for. He was a punter, and he had a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And because he was getting monetized, you know, his YouTube videos were monetized. That was a violation, and they took away his scholarship on some stupid shit. Like NCAA can go to hell.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna pay these kids,
man.
if this is my last point. If you're not gonna pay these kids in money, like at least like have other options. There are other options than just giving them like a check. Like you can have a escrow account and let them kind of accumulate interest, and they can't cash out that account until they graduate school. That's like probably one of my favorite options I've considered for it, because like you still paying them once they graduate, and then they be able to take that money out, and you know it accumulates interest over the years as well. So something like that. But let's get back on track, man.
Yes, sir.
We're starting off SmackDown. Becky Lynch comes down to the ring. Becky Lynch gets like 10 times more smoke and steam in her entrance now since like they putting these pyros and all these effects in order. And it's dope, man. She came out, kicked off SmackDown. Was interrupted by Baron Corbin, King Corbin. And King Corbin says, you know, there's only one person that should be opening up the 20th anniversary of SmackDown. That's me. But you know, probably one of our favorites had a little something to say about that. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, I just remembered there was a new episode of Ballers that came out today. I gotta watch that. But
is that a good show?
No, it's not.
I tried to get into it, like watch it twice, and I just couldn't.
It's not good. Like, I mean, it used to be good. Like it used to be good until like 2017. It started just not being good. But like it's also only 30 minutes. And so like I also don't own the HBO account that I use either. It's not my account. So like it's just like I've invested. So it's a 30-minute show. It's just like it's like an appetizer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just holds you down. Like, oh, it ain't really nothing to watch. Like a new episode of Ballers.
Bro, I low-key don't even know how HBO is still afloat.
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, you can go on HBO's app. They got all the movies. You can watch, you know, The Wire, Oz, Sopranos. Like you watch all the old shows on here. So that's why they're afloat still.
People. They got the prequel to Sopranos, I heard.
And shout out to MVP Montel Vontavious Porter. He's on my television right now, man.
Coming.
Where are they now, man?
Where are they now? Yeah.
The first WWE superstar to have an entrance theme song by Silk the Shocker since No Limit Soldiers in WCW. So shout out to Silk the Shocker, man, getting all the royalties on the WWE network for sure.
Yeah, shout out to him.
But let's get back on track. Train gets derailed constantly. We should change this.
That's the good thing about this show.
We should change the name of this show to like Train Derailed, because we get derailed all the time. But we back, man. The Rock comes out. Rock throws his greatest hits at Baron Corbin. Called him Burger King on crack. Said you look like a 35-year-old virgin at Comic-Con, dressed up like a king. Just because you're King of the Ring doesn't make you a real king. I don't know how that works. Excuse me. that's really king phobic of The Rock to say. Because imagine he said that about Becky Lynch. Like, just because you call yourself the man doesn't make you the man. Say that, it lose a lot of sponsors.
Ooh.
You can't say that.
They would have went at him. What do you mean?
That's really transphobic, Dwayne. You know, people get, man. Yeah. But you know, The Rock, you know, hit the rock bottom, hit the people's elbow. And you know, The Rock, the great one and the man, did they thing. And kind of lets you know who the top star is in the company right now.
Yeah.
The one who gets a segment with The Rock and stands tall with The Rock at the end of it. The Rock went over his time, I believe is what they said.
He's The Rock, he can do that.
He's The Rock, he can do that, but that also kind of plays in to later on in the show.
Okay.
Erin Andrews from Fox, you know, I wonder if she's just going to be doing backstage stuff every Friday going forward. Just fly her in, fly her out for NFL on Sunday. Man, she's a busy woman, but you know, she probably like cashing them checks though, so can't complain. Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, we don't care about Hulk Hogan anymore. They were in the crowd though. Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura had a match, champion versus champion match. Ended in no contest when the Fiend came out and you know, laid Seth Rollins out, threw him off the stage. Like, what the hell? Shinsuke Nakamura Shinsuke was kind of tweaked though. He was like, "Oh, man, don't come for me, bro. I ain't do nothing. Like, don't, like, bro, where you at, man? Like,
Sammy,
like, Sammy, where you at? Come get me, Sammy." I turned him British because I didn't want to be racist and do like an Asian voice, so I made him like high class New England. Sammy, will you please come out here?
Sammy.
We get the career versus career ladder match. Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon. Hard hitting match, man. You know, we got some power bombs. We got some frog splashes through ladders. Kevin Owens ended up beating Shane McMahon. We got coast to coast. You know, I think it's a given. The last coast to coast we'll see for a while. Because Shane McMahon is fired. He's done for. Kevin Owens wins. He's fired, gets hit with a stunner to see his way out. And, you know, we getting full circle, man. You know, we going full circle. You know, Shane McMahon is gone. Y'all knew what would happen. Like, all this time y'all been complaining. Y'all knew it was going to build up to Shane McMahon getting his comeuppance on this stage. Maybe it was boring to you, but y'all knew it was going to happen. We get a really random match. Braun Strowman, The Miz, and Heavy Machinery. The Miz looked so out of place on that team, by the way.
Sure did.
They ended up beating the OC. I'm sorry, not the OC. Just AJ Styles. Raw Tag Team Champions Rudolph and Randy Orton.
It's Rudolph.
That I'm calling him Rudolph from now on. I'm sorry. That's a funny ass name. They ended up getting the win. Braun Strowman at ringside. We have IBF heavyweight champion. I think it's IBF champion.
Yes, sir.
IBF heavyweight champion. Ooh. Tyson Fury is ringside.
Top rank fighter. Hold on. Can I say shout out to Top Rank? Thank you for recognizing your boy.
Hey, shout out to Top Rank. Y'all need to give my guy Bud some better fights.
Right? No, I want to say shout out to them because Vegas Sports Daily. We on better terms now, and I got a call from my guy Mike saying they mentioned a young man by the name of Malik Ricks in the phone call that they had. So
nice.
Shout out to Top Rank.
Grind out here, boy. But yeah, Braun Strowman gets into it with Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury will be on Monday Night Raw with a live mic in his hand tomorrow night. So we're gonna see how that goes. Because you know, Tyson Fury with a live mic on live television.
That don't really go too
interesting. Well. Should be a little interesting.
Deontay Wilder.
Braun Strowman, you fucking bloke, you piece of shit, eh? Like
He's
that's
a
going to be
boom.
really uncensored.
He's a boom.
Backstage, DJ Marshmello, no idea who that is because apparently he's an EDM DJ and
Kids
EDM
love
is
him.
probably the worst fucking genre of music I've ever heard in my life.
Kids love him.
So I have no idea who he was, but he won the 24/7 championship from Carmella backstage on Total Accident. One thing that I don't think a lot of people really would have noticed unless you were paying attention to this segment. DJ Marshmello, if you don't know who he is, he has like a marshmallow mask on his head, like an actual marshmallow on his head. Because like, you know, for some reason, a lot of EDM DJs don't like to show their face.
Right.
But Otis from Heavy Machinery comes up to him with 2 graham crackers and a bucket of chocolate, trying to make s'mores. Scares the shit out of Marshmello. Marshmello goes to run off, runs into Carmella and like falls on her. And ironically, there's a ref right there. Counts 1, 2, 3. And he's a 24/7 champion.
Yo, I know fans was pissed.
Apparently Carmella won the championship back later that night. It wasn't televised. I don't know if it was on YouTube or not. But Carmella is 24/7 champion at the end of the night. After that, we get a lumberjack match because you got to get everybody on the show. Roman Reigns, defeats Eric Rowan, leading up to their match on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Roman won with a spear. It was a fun little match, you know. Roman, you know, did his thing. Roman had a nice little suicide dive off the top rope. Mm-hmm. Roman can fly.
Yeah, he can.
It was pretty cool. And then our main event, we knew what it was. We knew what was going to happen.
Yes,
like,
sir.
I don't think nobody expected Kofi to win. A lot of people seem to be upset though.
Nobody expected him to lose that fast.
Nobody expected him to lose that quickly because, in my opinion, this is exactly what happened. The Rock went over his time. We might have gotten like a little bit longer of a match, but I also think the whole, you know, anything can happen.
There was a lot of other stuff they could have cut out to have that match go longer.
But the whole concept that anything can happen in live combat, you know, Fox wants to give a sports-like presentation, and this was the way to do it. You know, Kofi got caught slipping, man. Like everybody told, like Seth Rollins took like how many F5s and blah, blah, blah. But like Kofi got caught slipping. He tried to attack first, and he got countered. Like that's kind of what happens in sports, and you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't think this is the end for Kofi Kingston. I think you know, down the road, Kofi's gonna
be champion again. If
it's possible, you know,
if this was probably 2-3 years ago, I would have been livid. Yeah. I would have been very upset. But I have my Wednesday nights, so hey, do what you want, main roster shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? Do what you want. I got my Wednesday nights. I'm happy with that. Hey, whatever they do up there, I'm going to watch, but I'm not going to be emotionally upset about it like most people are.
And most people were upset, but at the same time, like, you know, it's Brock Lesnar, man. Like,
but at the same time, Kofi has defended this. It kind of discredits everybody he's even faced. You know what I mean? Because if Brock Lesnar beat him this fast, he had all these other people face him, and he had all these great matches. And he goes up with Brock Lesnar on Fox, probably the biggest Smackdown ever, and he loses in 8 seconds just for Cain Velasquez to come out and scare Brock. Yeah. But hey, I got my Wednesday night.
Shout out to Cain Velasquez, man.
Yeah,
you know,
I got my Wednesday nights.
I thought we was gonna see Cain Velasquez on Wednesdays, but no, we're not. We're gonna see him in the WWE. You know.
Yeah. The whole he already beat up Brock, so hey, let's bring him in to scare him up.
He knocked out Brock for real, legit. Like,
for real,
he legit knocked Brock Lesnar out. Like, granted, it was like 10 years ago, but still, like he knocked him out before Like it's that whole thing, no wonder why Brock, looked shook. Rey Mysterio came out with Cain Velasquez. Well, first of all, I thought it was Dominic, and I was like, damn, this kid like beefed up that fast in 4 days.
Got a tattoo of some
Got
more.
tatted, got taller, got bigger.
Yeah. I think we'll see Dominic again in this whole debacle.
It didn't click with me for like 2 seconds. Like, oh shit, that's Cain Velasquez. That's dope. I thought he was gonna be in AEW. That was a really pleasant surprise to see him show up. He beat the shit out of Brock and ran him off the block. Like, and they're gonna apparently go against each other for the WWE title at Crown Jewel. I don't know what day Crown Jewel is, and so I don't know if I have time to watch it during the day. Because usually I watch it during the day because like I don't really be having shit to do. Like the last few like Crown Jewel or like Saudi shows on Friday afternoons or like Friday mornings. It was like what I don't have shit to do on a Friday morning.
Have they officially announced that match yet?
I don't think it's official.
Ooh,
But
I can't wait. I'm gonna be on Twitter that day. They gonna be hot.
Hey, let them fight in the cage, man. Let them get in their element. Let them go all out in the full element. Let them have a MMA style match, like But I'm gonna say one thing. I'm ready for that highlight of Cain Velasquez hitting the Hurricane Rana on Brock Lesnar.
They should just make Crown Jewels like almost like a Legends type night. You know what I mean?
That's what it is, though.
Yeah, they should make because I don't know if this is true or not. I heard Edge was cleared to wrestle or something like that. I don't know if that's true. Oh, it's fake
news. Oh. Edge has debunked that. I feel like Edge will die if he ever tries to take like a legitimate bump ever again. And so I don't think he wants to die.
When you're a legend, you look at Bret Hart.
I don't want Edge to die. Bret Hart,
he didn't take no bumps.
Bret Hart was U.S. champion in 2010, and he didn't take a bump at all.
That's crazy.
Bret Hart's wrestled like 4 matches since 2010.
Oh,
and he did not take a bump in either one of them. So
except for the Hall of Fame,
he took a bump at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Bret, watch out! Shout out to MJF.
Shut the fuck.
Shout out to MJF, man. But I want to touch on a few more things before we get out of here. Last show, we talked about some of our favorite Smackdown moments, but I just want to kind of run through like some moments that happened on Smackdown that we missed, and also that people don't really talk about a whole lot. I say a little underrated moments, but you call them what you want. One really random moment that happened on an episode of Smackdown around 2007. 3-6 Mafia had a whole ass concert, performed Mark Henry's theme song on Smackdown. I'm sorry, Academy Award winning hip hop group.
Yes, sir.
3-6 Mafia.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Juicy J and DJ.
They won an Oscar before they won a Grammy. Have they ever won a Grammy?
I don't think they've ever won a Grammy.
Okay. But they have gotten an Oscar.
And I found this out not too long ago, maybe like a year ago, that Mark Henry did not rap on his theme song. It was always Crunchy Black from 3-6 Mafia. And like I was kind of disappointed because I really thought it was Mark Henry. I was like, Mark Henry got fucking bars, nigga. He got bars out here.
I'm coming.
Hey, shout out to MVP too, man. Shout out to MVP. I follow MVP on Twitter, and like he always like, we know MVP. He one of them black dudes that's just like no nonsense. Like he an OG. Like he don't take no shit. Like, and he is black. Like he's like not like, I mean he's a light skinned man, but he is a black man for real. Like he's the embodiment.
Y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm
blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. MVP is one of the blackest guys, not in skin tone, but in demeanor. And he don't take no shit from nobody on Twitter. Like, oh yeah, he'll go back and forth.
He be going at him?
He be going back and forth with people. when it comes to like social issues and race issues, and I'll be sitting back clapping like hell yeah.
Did you see Titus? His name Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. Yeah, I seen.
He did a little ad for Smackdown.
Did you know that he has like a show on like Fox News?
Yeah.
But like I think it's like a conservative show though. So
really?
Like, I think he like I'm not sure. I don't really care enough to fact check either. But I want to say like he's a Republican, but like he you know. He a nigga. It caught me off guard. I was like, oh, okay. With some more SmackDown moments. Jagged Edge performed at Teddy Long's wedding.
Jagged Edge.
At one point in time, SmackDown was a really black show.
Yes, sir.
We had 3-6 Mafia.
Preach.
We had Jagged Edge performing and singing at Teddy Long's wedding. And Bruce, Comic View fame, was the minister at the same wedding. And shout out to Bruce, man. That's my guy. Looks good on you. Nobody remembers that joke. I remember that joke. Probably the funniest moment in SmackDown history. I'm sorry, this shit was hilarious. The Big Boss Man crashes Big Show's dad's funeral and drags his casket alongside his car throughout the cemetery. Probably the wildest moment ever.
I wonder did Big Show go to his for real funeral?
Big Show's dad had died like years before this.
No, I'm talking about the Boss Man when he passed away. Wouldn't that be kind of awkward?
It was like Big Show went to his funeral and like fucked up his casket and all.
No. Please,
like,
no.
This is payback.
Yeah, like that would have been terrible.
Kayfabe only, not in real life.
Remember when Billy and Chuck was supposed to get married?
That's on my list. That's on my list. Billy and Chuck's wedding.
We're not gay.
And they didn't know like what was going on. And Rico was like, hey, we're not gay. Like, no. Like Billy and Chuck was like I watched that segment back like earlier this year. And fam, that shit would not slide in 2019 at all.
No, not at all. Where is Chuck Palumbo?
Man, where is Chuck Palumbo? That's a good question. Hey, Chuck Palumbo, man, if you out here just, listening, let us know, man.
On his motorcycles?
He's not listening. I'm pretty sure he might have like his own garage or something. Like he seemed like the type of dude that would have like a garage just full of like motorcycles that he runs.
Right.
Like, he might just, something different. Like, guys have their endeavors after they get out the game, man. So, it's something he seemed to be passionate about. He even had like a biker gimmick at one point.
Oh, I think well, it says here, Chuck Palumbo. He's not even listed as a pro wrestler anymore. He's listed as a mechanic. And he's had different type of car shows, yeah. I think he has a show on now called Rusted Development or something like that. Oh, no, wait, that ended in 2015. Well, basically he's dealing with cars.
Side note, my New England Patriots are the #1 team in football right now because the Chiefs lost. Shout out to the Chiefs losing. And the Dodgers won too, man. Shout out to the Dodgers as well. Let's win the World Series this year finally. Back on this list though, man. One of my favorite moments from 2003. Eddie Guerrero gives like Big Show a burrito with like laxative in it, and Big Show's taking a shit in the arena, and then Eddie Guerrero sprays Big Show with a sewage truck driven by his cousin.
By his cousin,
his deaf cousin Chewy, and sprays shit all over the Big Show inside the ring.
Oh my goodness!
Now it was high powered shit that was getting sprayed. I'm pretty sure it wasn't really shit.
I was gonna say, imagine if it was real, that arena would have.
If it was really shit, and like it was splattering all over the place. So, and we've all been to WWE events, like
yeah.
that ringside area not too far from the ring.
Not at all.
If I pay ringside seats to get shit splattered on me, I would be upset.
Very. Because back then, them tickets really weren't cheap.
No, they were
pretty high.
Ringside seats, like in Omaha, like ringside seats were like $200.
And out here, they're probably about $300-$400.
Like that's for a TV taping.
Yeah.
Like for like a pay-per-view Raw SmackDown, like a couple $100 to sit right ringside.
Yeah.
House shows a little cheaper. Like, dude, like
you get shit sprayed on you.
Can you imagine getting shit sprayed on you?
Remember Rikishi farting on Booker T and he throwing up all over the place?
That was disgusting. A lot of disgusting moments in WWE history when you think back on it.
Tori Wilson's father.
Man, I forgot about that. That's not on my list, man. But Al Wilson, apparently, like Al Wilson was really Tori Wilson's father, and he passed away for real, like last year.
Really? Didn't know that.
Al Wilson had a kayfabe heart attack, and kayfabe died in 2003.
And he never came back.
He never was back on television. That storyline was a lot longer than I remembered it being. Yep. It was a lot going on there. Tend to forget about it for good reason. Elsewhere on this list, man, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think it was one of the best matches in SmackDown history. Jeff Hardy winning the Intercontinental title over Triple H. I just want to say, Jeff Hardy, man, get some help, bro. That's all I want to say.
Yo,
I ain't about to get into that.
Man, get Uber, yo. Uber,
Lyft.
Like Jeff Hardy is like equal to like LeBron James in my life. Like Jeff Hardy has always been one of my favorite wrestlers since I was a child. And to be constantly, it's like seeing your pops, like, or your brother or your uncle, like, they be doing good, and then bam, DUI. Good, bam, DUI. He wins the WWE championship after over 10 years of being in a company, and then you lose. No. What was the World Heavyweight Championship? Excuse me. And then you get fired because of a drug test. Like, that's very disappointing. And then I had to watch TNA. You was the only reason why I watched TNA, yo. I had to sit through a whole bunch of junk, a whole bunch of crap, a whole bunch of poop just to see you wrestle. And then you come back finally. Thank God he's back, right? You even had a wrestling match with my other favorite tag team. You know what I'm saying? Young Bucks, Hardy Boys. I love that ladder match. I still watch that ladder match to this day. And just for you to come back and continuously get DUIs. So I don't know if they're going to let him go. I don't know if they're going to try to put him in rehab, but something needs to happen, yo. Something.
Hey, Jeffrey Nero Hardy.
Stop it. Get some help.
Please.
That's all I got to say, man.
Please.
Get some help, bro.
My bad on that ring.
But Jeff Hardy winning the Intercontinental title versus Triple H was a moment that I think a lot of people don't remember. This is at the heyday of the McMahon-Helmsley era. And it was a big deal at the time. CM Punk impersonating Jeff Hardy after beating Jeff Hardy for the world title at SummerSlam 2009. That was the last time we would see Jeff Hardy in WWE for about 8 years. That was a really fun moment. That whole summer of CM Punk on SmackDown that year was dope because not a lot of people, I don't think, were watching it, and it was the first time we seen like a heel CM Punk in WWE, and somebody that was following CM Punk in Ring of Honor. It felt good to me, like, all right, finally, because like, man, he wasn't really clicking as a good guy, back then. So that kind of set Punk up to be this iconic legend that we know him as. Sexy Kurt. Y'all remember the Sexy Kurt?
When he was impersonating Shawn Michaels?
I meant to have a soundbite ready, but I didn't have that ready. So I apologize for our listeners. But shout out to Kurt Angle and Sherry Martel, man. Sexy Kurt. Also on my list, man.
I make your ankle hurt.
Ankle hurt. Shout out. Hey, that was fun, man. And also on my list, man, underrated SmackDown moments. Vince McMahon's speech on the 9/11 show, man.
Yeah.
That was one of those moments. That was one of those moments, man. What is going on?
Bring it down. And why are you? No more. I'm sorry, y'all. To all my single people out there, advice.
Stay single.
Please. When you live with your girlfriend, she don't care about if you're doing a podcast. She wants some freaking Oreos. So she's gonna come in and get some Oreos.
And milk.
Get up out of here, yo. God, man.
Put it around.
Bye. Yeah.
Shout out to those underrated SmackDown moments, man. Man, hey, man. I'm all discombobulated right now. But it's one thing I've been wanting to touch on too. And I think Kofi losing the championship, I don't think makes a difference here with this. But a while ago, a couple weeks ago, Cody Rhodes had some comments about African Americans in professional wrestling. I'm not gonna go through the entire quote or any of the additional context behind it, but okay. One part of his quote that stood out here. I have it here with me. If you look at other sports, African Americans are dominating in sports.
Oh my God! Please don't
dominating in the NBA, dominating the NFL. How come that hasn't made its way to wrestling? If that makes any sense. I'm gonna say this one thing. There were more black champions in the WWE in the first 3 months of the year than there are on AEW's roster currently.
What does that have to do with anything?
I just want to say one, wrestling is not legitimate. Professional wrestling is not legitimate. It's determined. It's determined.
But you know what it is.
So you can easily slot a black wrestler into the main event spot on your show. You haven't done it.
Well, he only had one show.
You've had several shows. You have these YouTube channels. You can build these guys up. You could have had them be a little prominent on the first episode. You didn't do it, Cody.
You can't say that because then
hold on, fan. Make like Michael Jackson and start with the man in the mirror. Do it yourself because it's being done elsewhere. Look at TNA Impact. The black wrestlers are being represented well over there. WWE.
Did they ever have a black world champion over there?
Moose. If I'm not mistaken,
no,
was
like
for the world championship
in its heyday, where they had some potential.
And TNA said, we're talking about right now. Like we're talking about wrestling right now.
Nobody cares about TNA right now.
No, I'm talking about the wrestling industry right now. TNA.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
Rich Swann.
This is what I'm saying.
Let me finish. Rich Swann has held the X Division Championship this year. Moose has contended for the title several times. Like Willie Mack is featured very well in these shows. That's just TNA.
Nobody cares about TNA.
Let me finish. TNA. That's just TNA. That's just TNA.
Okay.
Like you said, people don't really care about TNA, but they've done more than AEW.
Yeah, because when they were on television, how many really were there?
I'm talking.
Let's be honest.
I'm talking right now.
But you got to put all the facts. Because when it was up, we didn't see that. When we had Jay Lethal.
I'm talking right now, okay? Jay Lethal was Ring of Honor champion for
Where was Ring of Honor ever alive?
Hey, can you stop cutting me off? Can you let me talk?
Because you're making a point that don't make sense right now.
It's gonna make sense.
I love Kofi on WWE before he became a world
You're not
champion.
letting me talk so I can make sense, fam. Let me talk.
Go ahead.
So they've been featured well in these other companies, even in WWE. This year alone, there have been 12 black wrestlers across the 3 main brands to hold championships. Several of them held multiple championships. Ron Truth has held multiple championships.
20 to be exact. Well, 20 times he won it.
20 24/7 championships and a U.S. title as well. Bobby Lashley has held multiple championships this year. Kofi Kingston has held multiple championships this year. People seem to forget Kofi was a tag team champion as of a few weeks ago at Clash of Champions. When
Has he won the U.S. title?
Kofi Kingston?
Yeah.
Yes, he's a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, I was thinking that. He's won almost every title.
Pretty much every championship that he could have won, he's won it. And but this year alone, he's won 2. He's been champion multiple times. Bobby Lashley, multiple. Who did I say before that? R-Truth, multiple time champion. Velveteen Dream, Street Profits. So Sasha Banks has won championships this year. So like WWE's doing it right, and it's really just like all you got to do is book them. Like that's really all you have to do. So like you can't say
this is what I was trying to say.
How are they not dominating? One, the NBA is like 87% black. The NFL is like 87% black.
Because black is cool.
And those are legitimate sports. So like they're gonna dominate those legit sports. Whereas professional wrestling, you can't question why black wrestlers aren't dominant. There's several black wrestlers out there. You don't even have any on your roster. So how about you sign some and then you book some besides your wife, and then maybe it could translate into your company. That's all I had to say.
But
start with yourself.
This is what I'm saying.
It's not that big of an issue as you're trying to make it, Cody Rhodes, when you have the authority and the ability to change that. So just change it. Don't question it. Just do it. Like you can do it.
What has been the biggest argument with people in AEW going to TV? Nobody knows who these wrestlers are. Nobody knows who. Oh, let's be real. Who's the biggest indie wrestler that is black right now?
Currently?
Yes.
Indie? Nobody knows.
Yes. So how the hell is he going to sign somebody that nobody knows?
And you got guys in this company.
You just had a whole argument, but you're saying
you have guys in these companies that apparently people don't care about. Then go sign them. Then sign them. Jay Lethal. People know who Jay Lethal is. Sign him.
I mean, WWE tried to sign Jay Lethal. He didn't want to leave. It's basically up to Jay Lethal.
I mean, he doesn't want to go to WWE.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's up to him. You could reach out, but if they don't take the paper and sign, that's nothing you could do. But what I'm saying is everybody's always talked about, well, like with Hangman Page, I feel like Hangman Page should have won the AEW title. But everybody told me, well, Chris Jericho's a bigger sell. Chris Jericho's a bigger sell. So if you're trying to have the bigger sell, you're trying to cater to the mainstream audience first, and there's no big black wrestlers. So how is he supposed to do this?
Let's get Moose out there, man. Let's get
How long is Moose contract with TNA?
I don't know. That shit don't matter. Like,
yes, it do. You can't just sign somebody.
It matter, but it don't matter. But
so we can't attack him on signing black wrestlers if there's none for him to sign.
There are plenty black wrestlers out there to sign. There's way more than the 5 he has on his roster currently. Sign them, build them up, and then put them in the mainstream. That's literally
he's
his
had
job.
How many shows? How many shows have he had? Like
he's had a whole year to sign more than 5 black wrestlers to his company.
People put so much weight on them, like they've been here. They haven't been open a year yet. Like they haven't.
It's been 10 months. Like you sign everybody, you sign all these other people. Nobody. You can sign some more.
We don't know who all he's reached out to.
I don't know if we're counting LAX or not. I don't know how people feel about Puerto Ricans if they're black or not. But
we don't know who they all reached out to. Like who knows? But like I said, would it even matter if they were black right now? They were signed. People don't know them because that was the argument. Nobody knows these wrestlers.
Like I said, what do you do when people don't know? You have these YouTube channels. You have these YouTube channels.
But that's what I've been saying for months. People have been trying to trip out on me about that.
You have 4 different YouTube channels that you use to promote these pay-per-views before you had your first television show. You've had 10 months to sign more than Private Party and Awesome Kong and your wife.
We don't know who's signing these people.
And Scorpio Sky.
Who's doing all this stuff. It took how long for Kofi Kingston to win a WWE championship? Like WWE
Took him about a year
has,
to win his first championship in WWE.
No, like the top championship. How long did it take him to win that?
11 years.
Exactly. It's a long ass time for somebody who's did a lot for that company.
You know what they did with Kofi Kingston when nobody knew who the hell he was? They showed vignettes, and then they debuted him on ECW, moved him to Raw. He won championships, started winning championships, became a popular character.
Yeah,
all in under a year.
Without the New Day, he probably would have been released. Let's be real.
I'm not gonna go that far.
The New Day regenerated his career because at the time nobody cared about.
I'm not gonna go so far to say that he would have been released, but
he would have been gone.
I don't think so. He might have been some enhancement.
He would have been he would have been gone, or he would have been a jobber.
He would have been a job. Like I said, he would have been enhancement talent. Like he would have been jobbing, but
exactly. So that would have never even reached up to this what we have today.
I don't see the point you're trying to make here.
I'm just saying, my point. It takes people time to get this going. Like before, we had The Rock was our only. We had Booker T. We had Mark
literally.
Henry.
All I'm saying, literally, all he has to do is sign some black wrestlers, build them up, and that's all he has to do. You can't say why aren't they dominating like in these other sports when all you have to do is book them to win. This is professional wrestling. This is not legitimate sports, so it's not on chance of who's better.
But I'm using people's argument of saying we don't know these guys, so how am I going to book somebody to win and we don't
build them up? Like I'm not saying just sign them and just throw them in the main event. Sign them.
That's what it sounds like, though. That's what it was sounding like.
I've said build them up about 7 times in this whole rant here. Like that's been my main thing is building them up.
How many pay-per-views have they had?
About 4.
How many TV shows have they had?
It won
5 shows. How are you going to build anybody up?
How did they build to the pay-per-views?
YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah, they built themselves. They built their matches. All people we know.
I don't think people gave a shit about Sean Spears, Ty Dillinger, but they sure as hell had him on YouTube.
They know who he is. What are you talking about? What they care about? They know who he is. They don't give a fuck about Jack Swagger, but he got a pop. Why? Because we know who he is.
So they don't. So we don't care about these other people, even though we know who they are. You know, in Impact, just because it's Impact, we can't care about them.
No, we don't.
But just because
who's out there screaming out for Rich Swann?
We know this person that was jobbing on Smackdown for 2 years.
Who's out there demanding Rich Swann right now?
Who the fuck is demanding Ty Dillinger?
What are you talking about? You asking
who demanded him? He's there. He's around.
Because of the company he's in. Yes, they want to see him now.
Nobody still wants to see him.
Are you kidding me?
I don't.
Yeah, you don't. That's you. But I'm saying this.
Chris Bay, shout out to Chris Bay. He emailed me back too, by the way. Chris Bay is another black wrestler they can sign. I just got an email from Chris Bay. So we're gonna talk about that in a second.
We'll have him reach out to AEW. But this is why you can't build anybody.
We can ask him that.
Rather YouTube or not, you can't build any type of wrestler off of 5 shows.
But you can build them in 10 months easily, which hasn't been done.
Wrestling. Who have they built in 10 months that just hasn't been wrestling? MJF, that was it. Name me somebody else.
It wasn't hard to do it with him. You could do it with somebody else.
He sells himself. He talks. That's it.
You get somebody.
What you want? A new Jack? You want somebody out there calling white people crackers?
Hey, shit! I'll enjoy it. That'd be my favorite wrestler. I'll get his T-shirt immediately.
Like what?
Hey, man, we run out of time, bro. You know, I don't want to spend too much time on this. All I'm saying.
Where's Kwame?
Cody.
What's that dude's name? What's that dude's name? He loves AEW.
And Kwame will tell you himself, they ain't got no black wrestlers on their roster. They need to do better.
No, I could have sworn. I could have sworn he went at us about us saying they don't have any black wrestlers. The first time we said it, he went at us.
He mentioned like Private Party. I recall that. I forgot about Private Party.
They built them up a little bit.
Ever since that podcast, you know, they still haven't signed. Excuse me, they still haven't signed any black wrestlers since.
Who else have they signed since?
I don't keep up with their transactions. So
they haven't signed anybody.
But I'm sure they signed some other people in that time span.
I think they're worried about building up the show right now and signing people.
Hey,
Youth is
AEW,
out.
get some more black wrestlers on your roster and get some more black fans in your show.
Like, let's be honest,
So
this
I
is the
can feel
best.
comfortable
This is the best black year in WWE history.
in wrestling history.
Exactly. That's a problem. That's what Cody said. This is the best black year in wrestling history.
And
Just because if he had a show, it would make 5 shows. Ain't gonna change that.
hey, just get some black wrestlers, man. Just because, and they have a show coming up called AEW Dark, but that don't mean like
That would be.
Never mind, I ain't gonna say it.
That would be
but
very.
Shout out to AEW Dark.
That would be crazy. If he signed black wrestlers for a show called AEW Dark, that would be wild.
hey, but shout out to AEW Dark, man. I like the concept, dude. Like technically these aren't going to be dark matches if they're going to be shown, but it's dark matches that aren't shown on Dynamite.
Well, they're gonna be like on YouTube.
Yeah, they're putting them on YouTube, so it's pretty dope, man. But yeah, we didn't went over the time I wanted to go over, because I had to get that out the way. We got some more. Next week we're gonna touch on these MMA fighters and these boxers in WWE. We can touch on that a little bit, man. Anything else you had to add this week? We're gonna get up out of here, guys. It's getting a little late here. Hell in a Cell was trash to me. But like I said, silver lining. One, it wasn't even really booked, promoted like that. It kind of has some unpredictability going into this week. So
I think we had our pay-per-view on Friday.
Yeah, that was the pay-per-view. That was always intended to be that way.
Yeah.
But Crown Jewel.
Instead of talking about MMA and boxers, can we just talk about celebrities in WWE next week?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next week.
Definitely. Next week, got a little conversation, man. Send us your thoughts, man. Like I said, if you guys listening, hashtag YK Wrestling. Make sure you hashtag, follow us everywhere. YK Wrestling, Instagram, YK Wrestling on Twitter, YK Wrestling on Facebook, which is basically like following the Instagram. Not much different, man. Like us on Spotify. Rate us on Apple Music and iTunes. Shout out to everybody that's listening. Shout out to the other people that's not listening too, man. Hopefully, we can get you guys to listen to us a little bit better, man. But that's all I got, man. What else you got for us, Malik?
Man, that's it. You said it all, brother.
Man, YK Wrestling. It's
We
your
out
boy
here.
TC, Malik. We out.